I've been an Olight customer for over 10 years, and I've worked for this company for almost 10 years. And I'm telling you now, this entire time, I have wanted a compact pocket thrower. Now, we've come out with a ton of thrower long distance lights, but they were never truly small enough for daily pocket carry. So now we finally have here, for the first time ever from Olight, a true tiny little pocket thrower with a spotlight over 500 meters long and a light that is the length of my pointer finger. This is the Baton Turbo, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, the Baton Turbo is a part of the Baton series. We have a ton of different products in this series. The Baton series is our everyday carry pocket flashlights. So that includes the Baton 4 that has the wireless charging case that has been extremely popular ever since it came out. We've got the Baton 3 Pro. We even have the Baton 3 Pro Max. We have so many products in this lineup. But again, we have never come out with a true spotlight Baton series light. So now we have the Baton Turbo. We released this light during our Las Vegas keynote event on September 14th, 2024. So if you guys are watching this video anytime after that, just know that the light's probably only a few weeks old, maybe a few months old by the time you watch this video, and this is one of the newest offerings that we have. Now, like I mentioned, it's got a 510 meter beam distance and 1,000 lumens. This is intended to be a long distance light with a candela of over 65,000. Now, I am going to go in depth with the performance of this light because that really is the true star of this, but I still wanted to quickly go over its physical attributes just so you know. Now, let's start with its size. It's only 3.22 inches long. This is about the length of an average credit card, just to give you an idea. And like I showed you, it's about the length of my pointer finger. It also has our magnetic charging, which is something that the Baton series is known for. So you just take the little disc charger, you slap it onto the back of the light, and you are charging. There's no ports that will wear out over time. So yes, this will last quite a bit longer than a port that might end up getting corroded or messed up. Now, it also has a matte finish here on the black version. We have a green version as well. Just know that the green version has a little bit more of a polished feel to it compared to the fully matte black version that I have in my hand. It's got a deep carry pocket clip. The pocket clip goes all the way to the very butt end of the light. So when this is sitting in your pocket, no one's even gonna know it's there because it's gonna be like that. Now, one of the things that we had to do to the Baton Turbo to get a beam distance of over 500 meters is we had to make the head larger. So the way it works is, if you want to have the best thrower ever, you're going to have a very, very large head and a very long reflector with the LED set as far back as possible. That's going to take that LED and it's going to shoot the light forward in a very focused pattern. So if you want to have a good thrower, it needs to have a large head, polished reflector, deep reflector, the LED push back. There's a lot of physical things that you have to do to the product to get that performance. Well, we did basically what we could, considering that we had to keep this small. So this now has a head diameter of 1.14 inches, which in terms of just flashlights in general is still extremely small. But it's not going to be as tiny as the Baton 4, for example, that has a TIR optic and is giving you a very flood, very wide type of beam. So we had to extend the head, but there are a few advantages to that. First off, you're getting the performance like I said. Second off, it allowed us to have more real estate for the switch. So now we have a button on the side of this light that is way bigger than any of the other Baton series lights. That allows you to be able to press this with gloves very easily. I mean, keep in mind, it's gonna start getting colder out. So this will definitely be fine if it's freezing out and you wanna wear gloves. It also allows you to locate the switch much better as well. And on top of that, we were able to continue to have the lumen level and the battery level indicator LEDs that wrap around the switch. So it's great for an EDC light because you always know your battery level and you know if you have more lumen levels that you can jump up to. Now, one of my favorite things about this light is it's got amazing performance, it's compact, it's no frills, but also we changed a lot of things about our prototype because of our fans' feedback. So we actually have a program where we're able to send out prototype lights to certain members, certain people who have achieved the loyalty level on our website in order to do so. So all of these products that we end up coming out with, we have a ton of people out in the real world testing them for weeks, months before we say it's okay for you guys. Now, during that process, we received a lot of feedback on this light, and we took the feedback seriously and made the changes. One of those changes was the LED. So a lot of thrower lights, they end up having kind of a yellowish green tint to the LED. They do things like de-dome the LED, and a lot of it is just the construction of the LED itself producing these types of tints. Now, we receive feedback from you guys that we don't want the green tint, we want just a perfect cool white beam. So we did a ton of research and we ended up sourcing some new LEDs that actually really haven't been used in the flashlight industry before. We're talking brand new stuff here, and that allows us to still have the beam distance of over 500 meters, but we're able to have an extremely cool white beam. So you're not getting that green or yellowish tint, but you're still getting a legitimate long distance spotlight. Another big difference that we made was with the battery. So initially, we wanted to make this light as small as possible, so we made the first prototype with a 16340 battery. Now, that has really high voltage output, so you can get really good lumen levels out of that. I mean, heck, you can get over 1,000 lumens out of the Baton 4, and that's a tiny light, and that uses the 16340. But the problem is, because of the fact that this light is so powerful with that 510 meter beam distance, the 16340 run times were just not good. So we went back to the drawing board and decided, okay, what can we use that's not an 18650 but is better than a 16340? Well, we jumped into the 18350 platform, where all we had to do was just make the diameter of the body of the light just a tiny bit smaller, which honestly wasn't a big deal because the head had to be a little bit bigger for the performance anyways, and that allowed us to get an 1100 milliamp cell versus the 650 milliamp cell of the 16340. Now, I know I just said a whole bunch of stuff, but basically we were able to put a higher milliamp cell into this light and virtually only change the size just a tiny bit. Now, the only downside to that is 18350s aren't the most common battery in the world, and we wanted you to be able to use this light even in a pinch. So what we did is we included a little plastic sleeve with the light that allows you to take that sleeve, put in a standard CR123A battery, put it in the light, and the light will work just fine. So you've got amazing performance, awesome run times from the 18350 that it comes with, but say that battery dies when you're out in the field, just pop it out, throw a CR into the sleeve, pop this into the light, and you're good to go. I mean, if you had an entire bag of CR123A batteries, you could literally just keep using this light forever. Now, there are millions of people around the world who lose power every single year. I mean, we just went through a terrible hurricane disaster here in the US. So I want to go ahead and talk about the run times on this. First off, it only takes an hour and a half to charge all the way up from dead. That is pretty impressive considering that it's 1100 milliamps and it has magnetic charging. Now, with that 1.5 hour charge time, you're able to get up to 50 days of usage from the moonlight mode. So even if your power's out for a week or even longer due to a hurricane, if you put this on moonlight mode, you can still have some light in your home or your garage for over a month. I mean, we're talking almost 2-month runtime at the lowest setting on here. Now, obviously, when you use it on turbo mode and the higher settings, it's nowhere near that long, but I just wanted to put it into perspective that even though this is a tiny little pocket light, you can actually use it for emergencies, and not only for one day of emergency, but for over a month. Now, for the newer members who are here, this doesn't only pertain to the Baton Turbo, but we recently started a lifetime warranty here in the US and some of our other larger markets. So if anything does happen to your Baton Turbo a month later or 5 years later, it doesn't matter. We will always take care of you guys. And keep in mind, we've been in business for 17 years. We've been doing this since 2007, and we are a global company selling products in over 100 countries. So we're not going anywhere, and we will always have your back if anything goes wrong with your light. We also have an amazing online community. I mean, we have a Facebook group with over 170,000 members. So not only can you enjoy the products and purchase them easily from all of our online stores, even our new Olight app that we just released, but you can also talk about them and share pictures and hang out and meet friends. And there's an entire community that is backing this brand. So if you're looking for a good flashlight, especially something small that actually has a legitimate beam distance, I don't see how you could possibly go wrong with the Baton Turbo. I mean, we even have a 30-day return policy on our website and the app. So even if you happen to not like it, you can still turn it back for a full refund. So you got to give the Baton Turbo a shot. Now, with all of that said, I think we've talked about everything physically with the light, so let's go ahead and jump into the performance review. Now, I decided to do something in this video, and that is we have a guy that works for us. He's a really good friend. His name's Martin, and he actually runs Olight Austria. Now remember, I said we sell lights in over 100 countries. Now what he did is he took the Baton Turbo and he went down into an old World War II bunker. If you're familiar with Austria, they have a ton of different tunnel systems and bunkers from back in the day during World War II. Now, this is a really good place to test out flashlights, especially one that is a spotlight. So he went down there and did a full test based on all of the different settings of the Baton Turbo and some of the competitors like the Baton 4. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that footage. I'm going to go ahead and talk over it so you guys understand what's going on. But I think it's really, really cool that we're going to show you a test of the Baton Turbo in an old World War II bunker. Let's jump over there now. Let's begin showing you the Baton Turbo on the 300 lumen high mode, just to give you a sense of this tunnel. Now we're really going to show it to you by pumping up to the turbo mode. I want you to pay attention to the outer light, so basically the diameter of this tunnel and how far the beam is going down the tunnel as well. When we take a look at the Baton 4, which is not a long distance light, you can see the outside of the tunnel very, very well, but you can't see the length of the tunnel anywhere near as good as the Baton Turbo. Let's jump to the Javelot Mini. Now this is a thrower. You can see down the tunnel, but the surrounding light, the diameter of the tunnel, you really can't see it anywhere near as good as the Baton Turbo. We'll jump into the standard Javelot. And again, you're getting really good distance, but the spill, the outer light, is just not as good. Now we'll jump into the Marauder Mini. Now this one has the two different settings, so we can just flip over to the flood style light, which is going to light up the whole tunnel. But again, when you use the spotlight on the Marauder, you're not getting any spill. Now there you go. These are the 4 lights that we just took a look at. Now let's transition over to the Arcfeld Ultra, our newest flagship pocket light. This one, again, is just not going to have that beam distance that you're looking for, even though the surrounding light really is beautiful. We'll go ahead and jump into another one, the Arcfeld Pro. Now, again, you're seeing a lot of surrounding light, but you're not getting that distance into the tunnel. And with the UV, it's the same thing, just not as bright. So there's your comparison with all of these lights. I hope you guys enjoyed that footage and this overview of the Baton Turbo. We've sent this light to some absolute flashlight nerds who go into full analysis of the performance and the way that flashlights run. They were very, very impressed by this light. If you like a good performer, you like a beautiful beam, a light that is going to be reliable, and something that is small enough to where you're willing to actually put it in your pocket or put it in your backpack and take it with you on a daily basis, I don't know what else I can say besides head over to olightstore.com or head over to the Olight app and pick yours up today. I'm partial to the matte finish. It just feels so good here on the black version, but we have a ton of fans, I mean thousands of fans who are on Team OD Green who prefer this version as well. So go ahead and pick which one you like, give it a try. You can even get yours custom engraved on our website as well. So if you want to get somebody's name or a picture or something like that on the top of the light right here, you can even do that. Just keep in mind, shipping will take a little bit longer if you are getting yours custom engraved. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you're very, very excited about the Baton Turbo that we produced because of your feedback and your suggestions. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.